Hey, it's Erin. When you think about the ideal physique, what characteristics come to mind? To me, I think of the classic X frame. This would be broad, round shoulders, nice upper chest, full upper back, small waist, and really nice, strong, powerful thighs, that quad sweep, that peak in the hamstrings, a perky booty, and shapely calves. Training for aesthetics is not just about going into the gym and lifting as heavy as possible. It's taking the 10 major muscle groups and really focusing on the aspects of each muscle group to make those specific muscles pop. So for example, if you're looking at the shoulders, we're looking at building the medial delt, and what this is going to do is add width across your upper body. We're looking at trying to make the waist smaller. So whatever genetics you're born with, you can work with those to create your ideal physique. Today's video is part one of a two-part series, and we're going to be looking at upper body exercises. In the next video, we'll be looking at the lower body exercises. With each exercise, I'll recommend a specific tempo and a specific rep and set range. This is because some muscles are either mostly fast twitch or mostly slow twitch, so it's important to train them accordingly. So without further ado, let's look at these upper body exercises. Let's start with the abs. The first exercise is the vacuum. If you're not familiar with this exercise, it's a throwback from the golden era of bodybuilding, and it strengthens your TVA or transverse abdominis. This is your internal girdle. It's the musculature that's actually under the six-pack. So if you're looking at increasing your strength in overall lifts, and if you're looking at decreasing the size of your waist, you can actually bring your waist down up to an inch by performing vacuums. To do this, I would suggest starting on your hands and knees and round your back. Blow all the air out of your lungs, and then try to suck your belly button up to your backbone. And hold it for 10 seconds at a time. Work up to 30 seconds, 4 to 5 sets of this. Let's take a look at the shoulders. This is a Landmine lateral raise. And I love this because it really increases the size of the medial delts. Now the medial delts is what will give you that overall width in the upper body. This is going to help balance from top to bottom and help make your waist look smaller. This is a difficult exercise to perform, so you can do this one of two ways. If you're really strong, go ahead and add weights to it. If you're not as strong, then you can either move your hand down the bar, which will make it easier, or you can use controlled cheat reps, which is what I'm doing here. So you'll notice I'm using my body to help get the bar up, but really controlling that negative portion of the rep. The negative portion is what is going to cause those little micro tears in the muscle, which the body repairs to make bigger and stronger. So if you're looking to gain size and strength, really focus on the negative portion of each rep. And as far as sets and reps go, 4 to 5 sets of 8 to 10 reps. And make sure you're really controlling that negative. Make sure you're performing this the same on right side and left side. And I like to start on the left side, it's the weaker one, and let that dictate the number of reps I do on the right side. This is going to ensure that right and left develop evenly. Moving on to the lats. This is your T-bar row. We're gonna do this a little bit differently though. Rather than standing at a 45-degree angle with the upper body, I'm gonna stand at about a 60-degree angle. So you see I'm pulling the bar a little bit more vertically. So angles train angles. So if you think you're pulling up a little bit more, you're gonna get a little bit higher on that back. And training and focusing on the upper back is going to also make the waist look smaller. So we're really interested in creating that X frame or that superhero physique. Now with this, I'm trying to keep the wrists nice and straight. Consider from your hands to your elbows as being part of the weight, and you're pulling through the elbow. And I let the shoulders round forward just a little bit more so I can pull them first and then pull through the lats. Back is really tricky to hit, so make sure you're squeezing mid-rep so you can really shift that focus to exactly where you want to feel it. 5 sets of 8 here, and if you're using that pause rep, you don't have to go as heavy. Believe me, the weight will get heavy if you're incorporating a 1 to 2 second pause with each rep. On to biceps. So I'm at the Smith machine. I've set the bar at about hip height. I'm doing inverted rows. Notice I've got an underhand grip and I have wrapped my thumb around the bar. This is really key because this will help you really engage the biceps. And biceps are a mirror muscle, so with this, every time you pull up, you can take a peek to one side and make sure you're really hitting the bicep. You can also add a mid-rep pause if you'd like. Pull yourself. Make sure you pull yourself to where the bar is at your lower rib cage. Keep your body in plank position. As you get tired, make sure you're not throwing in shoulders or switching to using your hips for momentum. So really focus on pulling with just the biceps here. Next up is triceps. So the long head of the tricep is actually a pulling muscle. So what we're going to do is kind of like a modified push down where there are 2 parts to this exercise. So think about extending your arms upward and then using your triceps to pull down and then do a push down at the bottom. So 2 parts, pull down till about till your lower arm reaches about parallel to the ground, and then you're going to push and then split that rope apart. And what this is going to do is it's going to help hit that long head of the triceps, which is going to give you that beautiful shape in the back of the arm. Regular push downs don't hit this, so it's important to incorporate that pull movement so you can hit all aspects of the triceps. Now with this, I would say probably 4 sets of 10 to 12 reps, and you can keep it moving pretty good. You don't have to use that mid-rep pause. Triceps tend to be a little bit more slow twitch, so higher reps. Do them well. Make sure you're focusing on splitting that movement into 2 parts though, so you've got that pull. Last exercise is for chest. Cannot neglect this. You're training every single part of your body. Do not neglect one muscle group. Now for chest, if you're doing incline bench press, bump it up a couple of pins. So make sure you're at a 60 to even 70% incline. And you'll notice here I'm pushing with my elbows out. I don't have my elbows in. So I'm not gonna go as heavy, but keeping your elbows out, keeping the dumbbells high. So keep them at about eye height. And this is really gonna work that upper chest. It's gonna tie in with the front delt beautifully. It's gonna help add thickness to your upper body. So if you plan on leaning down, you're not gonna look super gaunt when you lean down because you'll have beautiful upper chest development. And this is why we should not neglect it, because everything needs to be trained together in order to flow together. I like to incorporate a mid-rep pause here and 5 sets of 8 or 4 sets of 10. Really focus, really squeeze those dumbbells together at the top. So you think about pressing in a triangle, wide at the base and narrow at the top. Training for aesthetics requires a vision. It requires an end goal. So make sure you write down and really have a clear idea of what you want to achieve before you get into the gym. Cultivate that mind-muscle connection. This is going to be key, especially for those muscles you can't see. Close your eyes and really focus on that squeeze. You'll see a lot better results a lot faster. If you like this video, please consider subscribing, and don't forget to click that little bell. You'll be the first to know whenever a new video comes out. Stay tuned for part 2, where we're going to be delving into lower body exercises. If you liked any of these workouts and you try them, tag me on social media. I love seeing your progress. Thanks for watching. Until next time, train hard, y'all.